you doing, Adam?
Yeah, mate, all right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, can hear you got me, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just turning you up a bit.
All right.
How you doing, pal?
Yeah, not bad. Surviving like everyone else, mate. About you?
Same as everyone else, keeping busy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Good.
We'll have a seat. Yeah, it's good because I've noticed that while I've been trying to book people in, everyone's really busy because they'll say like, I can only do this date, or I can only do afternoons, or I can only do. So it's good that people are keeping busy because this is like I think this is my 8th one. And we've all had like conflicts like scheduling and stuff, so it's good. It's good that people.
No, it is. I mean, I think like going forward, like this is it now, isn't it? This is the new normal. I think for clients and stuff like that. So it's good that people are getting it in now and learning how to use it and getting the bugs fixed now. Because I honestly think that this is it. It's the future now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's forced me to do online stuff. So I've never really. I do have online clients, and I do. I do see people that sometimes they might train in the gym for like maybe once or twice a month, but the bulk of their training's at another gym or wherever if they're working away and things like that. But I've never called myself an online coach because it's not really something that I've thought about.
No.
But this is kind of like adapt or die. I keep saying it, but that's pretty much what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I read a good quote the other day, so I can't remember who put it on, but someone just put on this is fast forward. It's like the especially the PT industry. I mean, like 10 years. This pandemic. This is forced like 10 years of growth in weeks. There's a lot of PTs now, a lot of coaches now who are having to find a way, especially like I did one last night for two of my athletes, and I'm even have to find new ways to cue because obviously when I'm with them, I'm very kinesthetic, so I'll put them into positions and that I'm trying to find ways of like staring down that little dot there, going right. I need good verbal cueing here, otherwise I'm goosed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
So it's like you said, adapt or die. It's forcing people. It's good. It's good.
It's definitely what it seems to be is the people that are the good coaches seem to be seeing a big positive in this, and like they're saying, it's a way of like learning and trying to add more skills to what to their arsenal, really.
Definitely.
So apart from, obviously I know who you are. But yeah, just a little bit about yourself. I'm just going to grab my drink out. It won't be a second. But if you can, just a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So obviously, like I've been to your place before, Andy. So I said you know me, but I started as a PT long time ago, 2006, as a very sort of green PT. Getting, learning, basically just doing what I was told on a 6-week course, and that's it. Thought I knew it all, and had no real education. From that, I realised I didn't actually. I knew nothing. I knew nothing about how to train people. So, went to uni at 26, got my BA undergraduate. I've done my master's degree in strength and conditioning as well, and that's what I do now. I train athletes from weekend warriors to world champions. As well as that, I've just got my teaching qualification. So only made me level 3, and I've got an assessor qual as well, because like I said, my journey, it's all linking together now. So I started as a very green PT, not knowing anything, and now I think academically I've learned quite a lot, and experience-wise I've learned quite a lot, and I'm very keen to pass all that on now to new coaches of where I was in 2006. So that's what I do. I mean, a few different hats, probably like yourself, mate, and like everyone out there, different roles we do. But yeah, going forward, I'm very keen to if you on my Instagram, you'll see I've started putting a lot of not posts aimed at clients, but posts aimed at coaches. So trying to get coaches to think a little differently, trying to, those who train athletes, trying to get people to think outside the box a little bit more, and not just go for the bog standard, easy stuff that we can do in the house, because it's no good for a lot of athletes. So, but yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. It's good.
And I love it. And I love it like the rest of us. We love it. So
yeah, I think that's kind of an important point that you made there about people who don't train or people who are new to training. The home training thing is it's not an easy gig, because you still every job or every client that you train has their pros and cons. They have their easy bits and the difficult bits that they have to do. But from someone who's just started training, you can basically get a positive adaptation from pretty much anything. But like you were saying before, when you get into the tricky things of like dealing with athletes or dealing with people that have been training for a while, that's kind of where you earn your money, really.
Yeah, and that's it. And I think I've seen loads of people on Instagram, loads of boxers, and I know you've worked with a few combat athletes yourself, and just bashing out the very, very anterior focused programs. So the smashing out bodyweight squats for days and 100 press ups and anything really. They're almost reverting back to those mirror muscles, because bodyweight, really, that's what people go to: press ups and squats, that's what. But I'm seeing very little posterior loading and finding a way, and yourself, like your power, whether you're a combat, collision, whatever kind of athlete, there's no posterior loading going on. There's no hamstrings, there's no glutes, and that's where you're going to start detraining. I'm not even seeing people sprinting. We're allowed to get out. I'm telling people, just run, just get out and sprint, just move as fast as you can.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's so, like I said, there is pros and cons to this, but if any new coaches are watching this, and you are training athletes, get them posterior, load them posterior, so get them sprinting, because they'll detrain very fast. If they're sprinting and training and then we're in lockdown and they ain't sprinting, they're going to lose it.
Yeah, I love that, especially the sprinting part. We live in the northwest. You're never 10 minutes away from a hill.
No.
Even like an incline or anything. But yeah, short sprint.
And that's it. Hill sprints. Some hill sprints are a perfect form of force production and power production. You've got to propel 70 to 100 kilo up a big hill, as fast as you can. So it's a great way to train power.
Yeah. Plus with the benefits, old dudes like myself, a little bit easier on the joints, easier on the ankles, knees, hips, back. But yeah, I love hill sprints. It's I'd rather be nominated for a hill sprint challenge than a 5K challenge.
Oh, definitely.
Adam Heywood, I still not let Adam Fryer, who's at our place. I can forgive him for that. I think it's been about 3 weeks now. I'm still pretty pissed off at him.
Have you done it though?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
At least you got it done, mate.
Yeah, I did it, and then for the rest of the day, I was developing like COVID symptoms. So breathing a little heavier, coughing a little bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, so how are you doing with everything? With work wise, how are you carrying on? Is it everything through this Zoom, or where you?
No. So I work for a company called Life Leisure as well. I'm a fitness manager for them as well. So I've been furloughed in terms of, so I've still got a wage coming in that way. But yeah, in terms of training, I've moved everyone onto this because, like I said, it's not, the differences are minimal in terms of the way we're speaking and what we're telling our athletes to do or what we're telling our clients to do. So yeah, I've moved over to this, and say my only sort of bit I'm trying to learn is because I fell into the pattern of being very kinesthetic and as a coach, and now I'm trying to raise up my verbal, and even my visual cueing, you know, showing and telling, because again, it's hard to show a good squat or a good RDL or whatever when you've got to keep rejigging your camera and then you're switching your body and you're trying to find, you know, you're not in a room with them, just eye level with everyone. So, but there's a few little things I'm learning, but yeah, I've just moved everyone over onto this, mate. And again, just really have the online programming as well, which I've done as well. So, but you shifted everyone over.
Yeah.
So obviously you got your own place, though, haven't you? That's the
So the where I'm lucky is I tried doing a few films, a bit of filming in my garden, but I've not got the biggest garden in the world. So it have its limitations. So because, like I say, it's our gym. It's I spoke to a few people, spoke to some people who know better than I do, asked them what the situation was, and I told them what the situation was, said what they think. They just said, as long as, you know, going straight towards, especially now it's not really relaxed lockdown, but now we can travel out to exercise, as long as we're there longer than what we're traveling for. I can get into the gym. I'll spend a couple of hours filming. I'll get my training session in if I get time to, and then I'll come home from there. So I'm classing that as my hours exercise, or my little bit of exercise for the day. So I'm pretty lucky that way.
Yeah, that's good.
What I've also noticed as well is you're sporting a bit of a fresh haircut there, Adam.
I am, mate. I am.
What's going on there?
that is a missus who's she's a few YouTube videos and ain't bad with the clippers, mate. So
that is awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome. I've had a couple of goals, so mine was going a little bit wild. So I've just got some thick clippers, just kind of around the backs and sides. So that's why I'm always looking at the front. You don't really see around the back. But what's that?
Mate, it was getting very kind of, because my kind of grow was like that, so it was getting very, very bad. I just said, listen, just have a go, and she's watched videos, and to be fair, she's
looking good, mate. It's got a nice little fade there as well. I like it.
Oh, she's done well, mate. She's done well, bless her.
Yeah, mine goes outwards, so I was starting to look at. I don't remember My Name Is Earl, but
yeah.
It was on that. I was starting to look a bit bushier, and I thought about shaving this off and getting a tash going. But yeah, what are you training today, Ad?
Well, all of that I've been going on about the posterior loading. I'm doing an anterior session, mate. I'm doing a push session. So,
but like you said, though, people should do more posterior work, but it doesn't mean they should only do posterior work.
I did, to be fair. Like I said, I was training last night. A lot of RDLs last night. I've switched my training a little bit as well, which is I think important, because obviously we all fall into patterns, don't we, and into habits of how we train. And so I've started to incorporate, because I've not got access to a lot of equipment. Like I've got a 10 kilo weight vest, I've got 12 and a half, couple bands. So I've started doing more like CrossFit-y kind of workouts. I mean, I'll call it that, because obviously it's where that kind of AMRAP, every minute on a minute kind of thing came from. But I've just been putting my own stuff together. I've really been enjoying it. Yeah. So I'm getting good benefits from that as well. But without this, I don't think I'd have ever really gone over to do that kind of stuff. I've always kind of done metabolic finishes and things, but I've never done a full session where like I'm just gonna have to go high intensity all the time. So I've been enjoying it. But yeah, I'm going old school today, mate. 3 sets of 8 on most things, and bit of low intensity one today.
Excellent. Nothing wrong with that. The same.
What about yourself? What are you doing?
Well, not planned or anything, but all I've got is, well, I'm only using a couple of 10 kilo plates.
Yeah.
Short little barbell, hip circle band, and a resistance band. I'm just going to do some like hip hinge work. I'm going to do some old-fashioned bro works like tricep, some tricep work with the barbell, some close grip floor press. And I'm going to do some pull aparts for my shoulders.
I've thrown some pal-offs in there as well, so I'm going to see if this sturdy table will be able to take the band, and hopefully I don't get something that ends up going on you being framed and the band pings on my head or something. But I'm gonna have a go at some pal-offs as well. So
excellent. Well, I don't mean to boast, but I did make a bench. That's now a clothes rack.
look at that.
So I kind of pinched the idea as if you ever want to do it. Pretty lucky we've got a timber yard like 10 minutes away from us.
Yeah.
So I got my timber from there quite cheap. And there's a YouTube video from guys called Buff Dudes.
Right.
And they show how to set it up. And I'm the least DIY person in the world. And I've used it a few times now. I forgot that we had a disassembled rack that had been shortened down. So it's only like a 6-foot rack in height.
Yeah.
So we built that. The last day of sun that we had. Since then, it's peed it down. So, yeah,
shocking.
We've had. I've managed to bench once in 6 weeks. So yeah.
Oh, I'm floor pressing everything because I've got in the garage. I've got a 20 kilo Olympic bar and 70 kilo worth of plates. So I've got 2 15s and 2 10s. The 50, I can get 50 on the bar, and I'm floor pressing that. But the 70, even though I can press it, I can't rack it. So I had a go the other day and I balanced it on these. So I had a plate. So if you can imagine, I had 70 kilo on a loaded bar, balanced precariously on a dumbbell, on either side of a dumbbell over my chest. Yeah, I unracked it and I thought, what am I doing? I had to scoop myself. It was horrible, mate. So I'm missing going heavy on chest. I'm not gonna lie, but
if you're not close to death, are you even lifting?
But yeah, there was a fear of death there. But yeah, it kept things spicy.
Oh, cool. Good. We've not even. I'll let you warm up, Ad. But while you're warming up, I'll still shoot you a few questions in that. But we didn't even go into your challenge last week.
Oh, mate, I know. Yeah, good that. So I did. So it all come about because I said to my missus, I've been seeing a lot of people doing stuff on Instagram and on Facebook and stuff. And I said to my missus, I want to do something. And for someone who's kind of struggled with the mental health myself, I thought that was my charity. I wanted to do it for Calm Zone, which is the campaign against living miserably. And they go into detail about sort of male suicide rates and how obviously men are a lot less likely to speak about if they're suffering poor mental health, things like that. So I thought I'm doing it for them. And it was originally I was going to do 150 flights of stairs a day. So up and down is one. With my 10 kilo weighted vest on. I worked it out and I thought, you know what, that's not. I've always thought if you're going to do something for charity, it needs to hurt. I believe anyway, if you're going to do something for charity, it needs to be sort of, I don't know, just a bit out of the norm of what you can do and what you would do normally. So I looked at the distance for Mount Everest, and obviously that's 8,800 meters above sea level. And I said to her, I'm going to walk, I'm going to do that up the stairs. And then I thought, well, if I do 8,800 meters, then technically I'm just at the top of Everest. But those who walk Everest have got to come down again. So I ended up doing like 17,600 meters in a week up and down my stairs. It was like, I can't remember the stats. It's 90 odd thousand individual stairs, all with a 10 kilo weight vest on. I was walking for around about 2 hours a day for 7 days. So yeah, it was
wow.
Good, mate. It was good. And I videoed it, put it all on Instagram, 7 days worth on Instagram, heart rate, dated it so people could see how long and my heart rate and stuff. And raised just shot 600 quid as well for Calm. So that was a bonus.
Oh, mate. That's an amazing task.
But
It's biting me there because I'm not paying any attention to it.
It spurred me to do more though as well, which is, so when all this is done, I'm going to, I've got Hadrian's Wall in my sights, coast to coast, Ben Nevis, Three Peaks, you know, around that kind of stuff. So, but again, I'm gonna do it in a vest or in kit. So make it a little bit harder.
Yeah. Oh mate, that's awesome. That's some achievements. So first thing I thought of was like, you know, if you're doing your flights of stairs,
Yeah.
how do you overcome the boredom of it?
Oh mate, that was I reckon that was the hardest bit, because obviously when you're walking, well, that and my calves were in bits.
Yeah.
If you imagine going up the stairs, you can kind of keep your toes level.
Yeah.
But coming down, I challenge anyone to go down the stairs without plantar flexing. You know, you can't. So every down step, I'm plantar flexing, bang, bang, but some of my calves were in bits by day 3. But yeah, the boredom, I had music. I tried the podcast thing, but again, I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
I'm better with podcasts when I'm driving, but because I was walking so much, like I don't know, I just think that the physical took over the mental. But when I had my music on, it flipped, and I just listened to the music and I just got into the music. So yeah, there's a big, I suppose, advice for people training there as well, as if you know, get those distractions in, put your music on, and if you are going for runs and stuff like that,
yeah,
it works. Like I said, the boredom factor was big, and it worked for me. So
yeah, I'm gonna say with any kind of like endurance stuff, I always find like podcasts are probably not the best thing for me because I can't really take them in.
No.
Where with music, there's nothing really to concentrate on. It's just that beat to keep you going.
Well, I think that's what it was. I think because I like learning. And because I couldn't fully focus on the podcast and I couldn't fully focus on the task, I was kind of in two minds.
Yeah. Yeah. So, who was keeping count of how many?
I had an iPad, my missus' iPad, and it had a step counter on it. So every time, sorry mate. Yeah, I had my missus' iPad, and it had a step counter. So every time I did up down, clicked 1, up down 2, up down 3. So I had to do that 351 times. So again, as a mental factor, you couldn't get away. You couldn't really ever zone out of what you was doing.
Yeah.
Towards the back end of the challenge, I did up down 10 times, and then clicked it. You know, just try and find different ways of playing. But ultimately, I was counting myself, so couldn't never get away. But again, that was from someone who's struggled mentally. I think having that and just basically saying, right, come on, now you've got to do it. You've got to get mental resilience. So that was part of the challenge, it was good. Yeah, it was good, and it's shown me that I can do more, because I'm one of them, mate. If I tell myself I can't do it, I won't. But I've kind of like shown myself that those long challenges, I can do them. When it really gets tough, I can do it. So yeah, mental resilience is a big one.
It's cool that, because if anyone watches back on the vids that I've done up to now, we've all said at some point we've had these struggles where like motivation, or there's been things like say, you know what, I'm not sure I can do this, or I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing this. Personally, I hate training from home.
Yeah.
Home is where I can relax, and I might do a little bit of work that's gym related, but it won't be training work. I think it's quite not refreshing to us because we live it.
Yeah.
It might be refreshing to other people that kind of put trainers and coaches up on this pedestal, but we all deal with the same shit that everyone else does.
Yeah, of course we do. We're all human.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That's the thing that I tell. That's the thing I tell my new coaches as well. Like again, when I'm doing my training with them and stuff, I'll say like, listen, you're not going to be. I'll tell you now, you are not going to be training these Gymshark bunnies. You want to train. That these beautiful people, because the long and short of it is they know how to train, so they're very unlikely to elicit your services.
Yeah.
You're going to be training people who have things like mental illness, who are overweight, who are obese, who can't be asked coming to sessions with you. So, like you said, for those people, I suppose it's nice for them to see us like struggling with it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think honesty is a massive thing. One of the big red flags that I see for many coaches is saying like, how easy it is to train, how easy it is to live the lifestyle, and you get people on the other extreme where every day needs to be a battle, or it's always a battle against yourself. And I think the two extremes that people can't really stay in for too long.
A lot of these, like again, no disrespect to the young guns and stuff, but a lot of them might be very early 20s, still living at home, minimal overheads, and they're training people who are completely opposite. They're training people who have got debt to their eyeballs, who've 3 kids, never exercised. So it's either end of the spectrum, and as coaches, if you are that under 20, minimal overhead, you've got to find a way to connect with someone who's poles apart from you. Otherwise, you'll never get them to do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you've got the time to train 3, 4, 5 times a day, and you've got no dependence and things like that, that's not going to relate very well to someone who's a lot older and hasn't got the time to, can't really carve out an hour a day, let alone 2-3 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's kind of shown with some of the coaches who say that, there's 24 hours a day and I only want one of them and all that. But I'm not really a big believer in that kind of mentality, because fair enough, there's 12 hours a day, but if you're lucky enough, you're sleeping 8 of them.
Yeah. And you're probably working 8 of them.
Yeah. And that's if you're lucky. You might be working 8 if you're lucky. So obviously, we've got a little bit more time in our hands at the minute to do stuff like this. But, 16, 8 hours sleeping, 8 hours working. I mean, usually it's more like 10 hours.
And you hit the nail on the head though, mate. Like you've just said, home is for living. So if you struggle to go to the gym, like you're going to struggle to break that mental connection between house and chill and turn it into house and workout. Because you know what I mean? If you struggle to motivate yourself to get to a gym, you ain't going to be doing it in your living room. Let's be honest. So for any coaches out there who thinks like they've wrote this shit up plan that they're going to follow to the letter because they train, you've got them training 2 hours a day, I don't think they will, mate.
Yeah. It's wrong to assume that everyone trains like that coach.
Yeah.
Because it's not. Some people are doing it just to be a little bit healthier.
Yeah, definitely.
When I started out, I fully wanted like a stable full of elite athletes that I could just train and have memorabilia on my wall and things like that. It's just for everyone. And the kind of reality is, the athletes that I train are a small fraction of the actual people that step foot in the gym.
Yeah. Same, mate. I started out where when I first started at uni. Like I said, that was about, I don't know, 8 years ago, something like that now. I wanted to train the elite. I wanted to train, you know, I wanted to go. I wanted a job at United or City or wherever, you know, in there. That very quickly changed because I got working with youth athletes, and I saw, you know, that the buzz they got of learning new movements, and I saw the physical changes, and so yeah, and again, and those, I think again, just because they were athletes, they still wanted, or they were still struggling or trying to find a way to live like a teenager.
Yeah.
So again, when I'm like, I'm at the gym it was when I was at UCLan, when I was at uni. You know, I'm at the gym there at the sports centre waiting for athletes to turn up, and they're not turning up on a Thursday afternoon, and I'm texting them, you know, where are you? Where are you? They've gone out with the mates. Because the teenagers, and I thought, yeah, you know what? If I can get this person to train and to train religiously, I've done my job, and that's mint. So I got more of it. So most of my clients now, most of my athletes, they are younger. You know, they're all the youth athletes, because they're the ones I enjoy training the most.
Yeah, I agree. I think the my Gen Pop. Well, I get a buzz off all of them for very different reasons.
Yeah.
So like with my savages now. So like the kids that I train, they range up from like 10 up to 16. And I buzz off them just for the sheer motivation that they have and the energy that they bring into the room. So an easier job for me is just make sure they keep that energy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the buzz, you know, some of the older guys that train there at the same time as they do, they kind of like, you know, I've even had some of the kids spotting for the older guys and some of the older guys spotting for the kids. So yeah, each person has their own little, has their own positives.
Definitely. Yeah, that many savages, that's a good program, that.
Yeah, well, it started off as mini savages when they were all like 8 and 10.
Right.
But now they're all like 12, 13, 14. They don't take too kindly to being called mini savages anymore.
Just call them savages.
It's Team Savage. Well, we're kind of in the middle of a rebranding. So when we started, it was just learning how to like a bit of gym etiquette. So something for the kids. Someone asked me, this is how it really started off. Someone asked me if their kids can come and train at the gym.
Yeah.
At first I said no, just because I weren't sure of like insurance purposes and things like that. But it was kind of something that I wanted to do. That's just my two arguing there. But so yeah, it wasn't something that I definitely wanted to do. Or initially wanted to start up anyway. All right. Girls just coming from work.
Hi.
So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So when enough people asked me, I thought I'll put something together, and at first it was just like gym etiquette, you know.
Yeah.
When you walk into the gym, like putting stuff away, only taking what you need, learning that like basic like movement patterns, like a squat, a hinge, a press, maybe look at some pull-ups, things like that. And then as more people heard about it, more kids started to come along, and it was this year I started putting some things in place to make it more of an education system. So it's like there's a pathway now. So any kid that comes in starts from day one, not trained before, they'll go on to it's like an introduction to YPP, which is the Youth Performance Pathway. So they're starting from day one. And over the 12 months that they're with us, they're going to be learning first to recognise different presses, pulls, hinge movements, anti-rotation core. And then after that 12 months, we'll start embedding things in like sprint skills. So, just like basic acceleration, landing drills, jumping.
Yeah.
So rather than just it being a place to turn up and train, it's more like a course now, what they're doing.
Amazing.
Quite a few of them are playing in sport now. So a couple of the girls play football. We've got some rugby players that play for Mayfield, the junior teams. We've got a couple of lads that play lacrosse. So we're attracting kind of like kids who already play sport, but it is open to anyone, even if they're not associated with the team or they've got no intention to play sport. It's more like a health and fitness kind of thing as well.
Yeah, and obviously the payoff to that, you're going to get the lads and the girls that don't play a sport. If they're around people that do play a sport, especially sports like lacrosse, and that's not really sort of readily available to a lot of people, they might take up a sport that they end up being really good at, and that they never really would have tried in the first place. Because where I've grown up and where I live, it's all footy. In school we played footy, we played rugby. I went to a very underfunded school, and we just didn't have that much kit. I think we had a couple of shot puts, a couple of javelins that we very rarely got out because the consensus was footy. So so even if you've got kids who go to schools like that, if they're mixing with young athletes who play other different sports, then they might go home and go, "Mum, can I try that? It's only £2. Can I go and try that sport?" And that's really good, mate. So, like you said, that's not directly what you're trying to do, but it's a positive offshoot of it. It's great.
Well, yeah. The thing is now is that we've had a couple of people that they're getting to like 16, 17. They're eventually going to be like graduating up into our open age group training.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty cool.
What? No, it is. It's good, mate, and I'm big into that as well. Like I said, that the learning the foundations of movements before we're taking up sports, and so I'm a big sort of Rodri Lloyd kind of school of thought. Get the foundations in place, get all of that in place, sod off the early sport specialisation. Find your sport later in life, but learn to move first. So it's wicked, mate. It's good.
Yeah.
And that's like what I tend to do. I train a rhythmic gymnastics squad, and so rhythmic gymnastics. If you've never seen it, it's dance and floor work really. So from a needs analysis, you can look at it and say, they need power, because if they can get an extra split second in the air, it'll show the lines off better and it's better for the judges. You need a good aerobic base, blah blah blah. But what I did with the younger squad was we basically just do a lot of, I get them to move properly. We teach them how to move properly. I'm just do a load of obstacle course stuff, a load of tumbling, a load of stuff that they would never do in their sport. And that's the point, because all they tend to do is rhythmic gymnastics. So get them moving in different ways, in different patterns. Like Paige was saying on your other one, different planes of motion, just getting them moving in different planes of motion. Like tumbling, I love tumbling for youth athletes. I think it's brilliant because it's something that we do as kids. But if you ask an adult now to do a good forward roll, you'll back hits the ground. It's a skill that we've lost.
And that's if you can get an adult to do it.
Yeah. Look at you like your dad. Yeah.
Like, I think I can do one.
Yeah. But do it, and I bet you start laughing, and that's half the battle, isn't it? Do a forward roll.
it's fun as well. Like you said, it's keeping them entertained. If you make games out of it, you've got them engaged. Yeah, I think I've got a feeling that I'm going to be pecking your head about youth training after this.
Mate, anytime. I love it.
It's something that I'm going to pay. Well, most of this year I've spent my attention on developing this with this YPP.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, that sounds mint. Like the fact that you've got a framework and a syllabus, and something that I'm massive on with athletes, clients of any age, creating autonomy, and you're doing that, you know, by what you said, you know, asking them to recognise pressing patterns. So you question, you know, you're going through question and answers. You say you're creating that autonomy. They know what the different presses are. So when they take it into the gym, when they leave you, because that's the other thing. Again, I'll go back to it. Young trainers and young PTs, you need an exit strategy for your client, because unless you're very lucky, your client is not going to be with you forever. So, you know, you need your own sort of exit strategy for your own. So whether on a business point of view, if you go from one-on-one to small group training or even online, fine. But if you don't, I think ethically, you should be teaching that client the skills that they need to survive without you. So that's what we're about, isn't it? We've got to find a way of getting a nation healthy and moving, right? So financially, if they can't stay with you, if you've taught them everything they need to survive, then happy days, job done.
I couldn't agree more. I think if it shouldn't really matter if someone comes to train with you for a little bit and then leaves you and goes off to pastures new, goes to another coach or goes to train on their own, we shouldn't be too precious to think that that person should only train with us. You know, if they take away something that they've learned from you, and that's a positive thing on the rest of their training life or the rest of life in general, then should be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I like the idea of the exit plan as well. So, you know, that could be. So one thing that we're doing at our place is that once they've gone through, so that the open age setup is pretty much a mirror of what the YPP is going to be. Obviously, learning different things. They'll go from like the fundamentals, they'll go like progressions, they'll go to more intermediate to advanced techniques, and after that, the exit strategy for them for just be an open gym membership.
Exactly, and that's it, and that's the, you know, and that's the thing with having your own place. Like that's doable. So you go from one-on-one, and then move them into, say you move them into the group setting, and theoretically, sorry, they shouldn't ever leave that on that open gym membership unless they move away, because you know, they're getting enough out of it to remain healthy and stay healthy. But for those PTs out there who do one-on-one and don't have a home gym or don't have access to, then this is your exit plan. You know, I think, you know, you go, do you find a way of utilizing this to then set up that group training plan? Like, let's say last night, three of us, you know, so there's two athletes last night. One was in her house, one was in the other house. And you know, we did a home workout all together. I know what kit they've got, and I built a session around that. And I think for young PTs, that could be your exit strategy. You do your one-on-one stuff, and if when the time comes that they can't afford for one-on-one anymore, or they don't see the need in it, get them onto an online platform like this, because then you're still helping them.
Yeah, that's really good advice. So, if I think this would be a good episode for other coaches, especially young coaches.
Yeah.
I know you're saying before that you're going down the route of helping young or new coaches. Where can they get in touch here, Adam?
Instagram, ACH Performance. You can email me. You can get me email off Instagram, but my email is achperform@gmail.com. And yeah, like I said, or if you forgot that or whatever, leave a comment in this video, and I can you know get back to people that way, or people just message you. You can message me as well, Andy. So
I'll be tagging you in all this. I'll definitely be messaging you anyway.
Yeah.
Especially
when this is done. I know everyone says it, but when this is done, I will come back up your way, because I'm only down the road, mate. You know, I'm only Tameside, so, and I can fly up anytime, really. And I'd like to see that.
And likewise, I've got 8 different gyms to get to after this. So I'm definitely, that's what I'm going to make more time to do stuff like this, because I really enjoyed it. I enjoy speaking to other coaches and see what they're doing.
I do, and that's the thing, and a lot of coaches don't, and I don't know why, because, well, I know why, but if you tell me you get into the game to help people, but you don't want to speak to other coaches, and you didn't get into the game to help people, it's as simple as that. Because I think if you did, you'd be happy to speak to other coaches, because you'd learn something. Either that, your ego's so big you think you know it all. But I learn. I said you know, how long ago it was when I first messaged you and said, can I come your place, and I come and we chatted, and that was it. Just me reaching out to another coach to come and learn something. And I do that to everyone, and I've made a lot of friends, like coaches as well, doing that. So yeah, again, advice: just reach out to other coaches, go and spend time with them, and see what they do. And if you take 1 or 2 points from it, happy days. You've learned something.
I think I agree again, but I think you're right. With the right coaches, will say, yeah, sure, come down, or they'll answer questions. You know, they might have a schedule, because obviously good coaches are busy coaches.
Yeah.
So they might have a schedule to work around, but I'm sure I've never reached out to any coach and he or she has never said, "Oh, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry." Well, they've not said, you know, I don't really do things like that. I don't really speak out, speak to other people. But yeah, I'm pretty lucky everyone's that's wanted to speak to me, especially with this as well. So everyone that I've asked up to now has said yes straight away.
Yeah.
But I think that's to do with like the kind of circle of people that you keep in touch with.
Yeah, definitely, mate. But yeah, I said I'll fly over to your place when all this is over, and we can chat some more. And like I say, if you want to, you know, stay in contact, fire anything over, and say any young coaches out there that want some advice from someone different. Like I said, you know, ask me any questions. I don't mind. My background's varied. Like I said, at the minute I am S&C, but the beauty of S&C is this. It's, you know, it's scalable to any. It's just a name. It's just a name. Strength and conditioning is just a name for 2 modalities of training, and you know, doesn't mean we're beast people. So anyone can do strength and conditioning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you train clients and you want to know different ways of training, like, fire them over.
Yeah.
I've trained people with 2 knee replacements and a bloody big hernia, and I've still found a ways to train them. So everyone can train.
Yeah. I think if you look at it, and any SNC, Facebook or social or Instagram, any kind of social media, and they're only doing one mode of trading throughout, they're probably a very narrow window of an SNC coach where you might, like you say, you might get someone from doing like rehab work all the way up to more like advanced techniques, advanced exercises. So yeah, it's quite. I mean, even if it's just conditioning on its own, that's a broad spectrum. That can range from, you know.
What you're doing, are you raising a aerobic base? What kind of conditioning are you doing? And I think that's it. And with SNC, like we get to, I think a lot of online coaches and stuff, they get too bogged down in the sexy stuff, and that's a big pet peeve of mine. Like, like you've got, I don't know, you see, you got a young boxer. They've never really trained before. They've only ever boxed, never really lifted weights before. And you got them doing, pre-exhaustion work and things like this, or you got them doing
cleans and snatches,
24 depth drops into a double somersault agility ladder. Like what? Just because it looks sexy on Instagram.
Yeah,
just basics, mate. Like our training that we've just, I'm going to do a bit and carry on in a bit, but it's basics work.
Yeah, but boring trainings can be sexy training.
Definitely.
All right, mate. I'm gonna let you get back to your session and rest. What are you doing rest of the today?
Mrs. is going to work soon, so got a little one. Don't know. Weather looks relatively all right, so probably gonna take her out.
Like I said, we're only about 10 minutes away from you, so
yeah,
pretty much the same. And the one important, sorry, mate, go on.
No, I'm just saying, I'll just take the little one out for an hour, mate. Probably get, try and get her out of the house, do a little bit. That's it. Chill out. What about yourself?
I'm writing some programs, so I've done a couple this morning. I'm going to do a couple more. Well, I'll probably do one more later on. So my guys have got challenges to do.
Right.
In one of 4 movements. So it's strict push-up for reps, handstand, a pull-up, and pistol squat. So based on what kind of ability level they're at, they can choose one of those, and then their program will reflect, the progressions through that.
Speaking of program, how's your little mini mesocycle going?
Well, it's doing all right, It's doing all right. So I'm kind of having a bit of a mobility kind of deload type week. Well, I say a week. It's about 3 or 4 days. I was good to go after that. Didn't really need like a full week.
No.
But I'm keeping busy. I'm probably going out for a lot more walks now. I think that's probably one thing I'll take out of this is to walk a lot more, because I don't really. I'm on my feet most of the day, but they're not exactly active minutes. So my actual training, I'm doing a lot of things that I wasn't doing before. My handstands are kind of sort of improving.
That was what you told me you was working on, like your skill you was working on, one of your handstands. So
yeah, so that's one of the skills I'm doing. I'll be doing the handstand kind of program.
Yeah.
So at the minute, I'm just trying to get control over, like pike push-ups. I've been on my feet elevated. It's like feet onto a box doing pike push-ups. I'm just doing all those are really tough, especially when Paige gave me a bit of a correction. And I thought, geez, these are really tough. But yeah.
Any kind of handstand, yeah. I'm not a fan. I need to get better. It's my next one. After I've nailed my skipping, it's my handstand, definitely.
Yeah, so it's a good opportunity to pick up on stuff that we're not. Well, me personally, I'm not that good at. I don't mind sucking at stuff. I don't mind not being like the smartest person in the room and things like that. I don't mind anything like that. So I'm enjoying the challenge.
Right, mate. Well, pleasure. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Oh, mate, thanks for your time. I'll definitely have a catch up. You know, Sam. Do you want us to jump in? Go on then.
Like,
it seems he tries to, even though he says he's camera shy, he always makes like a little bit of a cameo appearance in these.
He said jump in.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely be catching up with you in the
Man, definitely.
in the short term. I'll edit this, and this is what day we're on now. So this is Thursday. It'll probably up tomorrow. I've got a couple of tomorrow.
Nice one, mate.
All right, mate.
Right. Cheers, pal. Enjoy your day.
You too, pal. Stay safe, mate.
All right, mate. You too. See you in a bit.